All right. Hello, everybody. Hey, boo. All right. So earlier I started the live right away, but I'm gonna wait to give people time to show up because I don't want to have to keep repeating everything. Are you all packed up and ready to go? Let me see if I can figure out this chat earlier because earlier I could not figure it out. Hi, Miss Rivera. How are you? All right, so it's like 9:33, so I guess in about 3 minutes I'll start. Whoever's going to jump on is going to jump on, but I'm just giving everybody a little bit of time. How are y'all tonight? Hope y'all guys are doing well. I thought you were done. You leave tomorrow. You gotta get on it. I got my tea for tonight. Some lemon ginger tea. I felt that was perfect to do a nighttime live, have some tea. Earlier I had a frappe and then I took a like 10-minute nap earlier. I'm doing good. I'm hot. I guess because I was taking care of stuff, trying to be on time. So I want to have y'all waiting. But I'm good. I'm a little sleepy, but I'm good. All right, so I got my handy dandy notebook so I can stay on topic. We'll make sure I hit everything because it's a lot of stuff to go over and talk about. Um, Hopefully nobody comes in ridiculously late, like earlier, like towards the end. Probably because they forgot or they were busy or whatever the case is. But thank you. This is from Get Nail 32. She has it. This is the color Bone. She has it in pink, like purple, black. So once this live downloads, I'm going to put the website I got this in. The website for grants and scholarships for beauty school. Hi Cindy, you made it and on time. So you get to hear from the very beginning. So I have some links for you guys, like scholarships and grants, like the things that I use to study, Kahoot, Quizlet, some other apps that I know other people use for to pass the state and all that good stuff. So what time is it? All right, go. About to get this thing started. All right, so how I found out about nail school. I have found this website called Beauty School Directory. So I pretty much did nail schools near me, and then Beauty School Directory popped up, and it was like type in your zip code or something. So I typed in my zip code, and then a couple of schools were like in my area. So one was about 12 minutes away, but they had, it was Thursday and Friday from 9 to 2, and they wanted almost $5,000. And I'm like, yeah, no. And then that wouldn't work because I need to make sure I'm close for the kids or whatever. The other school that I went to, where I had actually like signed paperwork. All right, let me show y'all. Hold on. So when you go to like register for school or whatever, you're gonna like sign the paperwork like this. This is, it has the tuition, it has like how much the books are, the deposit. So yeah, I had signed paperwork for them. So they were 45 minutes away. They were like $5,995. My school, Christine Valmy, was about 30 minutes away, and for just tuition, yes, I'm doing too. And y'all gonna see me do the same thing I did earlier with this pimple. Yes, I'm going over the same stuff, but if you want to hop back on like an hour later, because it's gonna take me a while, I would just say just pop in, because I do have like a little announcement for y'all, for everybody that stayed on the live earlier and now. Something a little cute, nothing too much, but yeah, it's the same thing as earlier, just going over it again, because other people couldn't be on earlier. So if you want to stay, you can stay and help me get my views. But if you don't want to stay, that's fine. I get it. But yeah, so my school tuition was $3,995. The books in the kit. Thank you. I appreciate that. But the books in the kit was $500. That was included. I had the option to either buy my own books or get the books from my school. And so these are the books. And one of my books, one of the pages was ripped. So I was like, you know what? I'll go through the school to get my textbook so that I don't have to worry about getting the wrong edition. And then one of the pages was ripped, which sucks. But it is what it is. Hold on. I gotta write something down real quick. So the textbooks that we used were My Lady, 8th edition. So this is the nail technology book. This has acrylic, manicuring, pedicuring, skincare conditions, nail diseases and conditions, anatomy. That's all in this textbook. My Lady, 8th edition. And then we have workbook. So at the end of each chapter was a exam review. You could probably find it on Amazon, I'm sure. My Lady, 8th edition. Let me see. So yeah, this is the nails workbook. This is the textbook. And I'll link it at the end. And then we had a foundations book. This was like beauty business, infection control, chemistry, electricity. This is this book. So everybody gets this, whether you take cosmetology, whether you take esthetician, whether you take barbering, everybody gets this book. This is the book where it's like infection control. How much did you pay for yours? I wonder, because our books and our kit was $500, and I know everything that we got was not worth $500. I did a live like 6 months ago, but I'll show y'all the stuff that I got, because my tuition was $3,995, and oh, you didn't get the workbooks? Yeah, the workbooks, that's what helped me study. That, YouTube, Kahoot, Quizlet. But yeah, the my tuition was $3,995, the day I registered, I had to pay for passport pictures. That was $35. I had to get a uniform, so I bought two. That was like $135. Then I had to get white sneakers because we had to get white scrubs. I should have just signed the paper to just do it myself, but I didn't. So I went through it so you guys don't have to go through it. So on the day you register, you get this little folder. I got that paper. I got this paper right here that shows all the fees. So the day I registered, enrolled, I had to pay for a state registration, a website, $5. My student permit, which is somewhere in here. My student permit was $5. The written exam was $53, which is why I didn't want to take it more than once, because who wants to keep paying that? That's not bad, $52. That's typical standard. So this is my permit, my student permit. That's basically to say we can work in a salon while we're still a student, and we can do salon day. So when we did have salon day, we had to make sure we have this and a doctor's note to say that we don't have like any diseases, and then that we don't have I'm pretty sure y'all can get it used for cheaper, because when I was in college, that's what I did. I got the used books. I didn't really get the new ones, because who wants to pay all that money? But yeah, so outside of tuition, I had to get a uniform. I had to get sneakers. I had to get one of those traveling bags. Don't get the one that I got. If you follow me on Instagram and TikTok, the one that I have, don't get that, because it's not like a tier. You can't really separate it. You have to really play Tetris to get everything. So every night going to school packing that, I had to do that. So I got like these little containers from Walmart to separate my stuff. But still, it was still too much stuff. So yeah, that was that. What else? So I had to pay for passport pictures, because you need passport pictures for your permit. And I forgot what else you need it for. But yeah. Let's see, what else did I have to buy? I bought a drill, because the drill that they gave us, I'm not using it. Who's doing it? I'm not using like a car pedal to do a drill. So I bought a drill. I bought the Melody Susie 14th edition. That was like $289. So everything outside of my tuition, I spent pretty much almost $800. That's not including gas. That's not including snacks. That's not including oil change. That's not including nothing, like, for that. So in the kit, which I have a picture of, so, and there's something that was missing from our kit that we still didn't get. I don't even know what it is anymore. But not the first week, like the second week. Was it the second week? We got our kit, and it came in this big box, and then we had to check off everything. So this is some of the stuff that we got. Like, we got curing resin from Clarite. We got cuticle cream, which we never used. Because my school is mostly like skincare, so they did give us exfoliator from their brand. We got safety goggles, and I did this on live like 6 months ago, but I know y'all don't want to go back. It's fine. We got hard gel. This came in a better box. It's just that's what it is now. This was the cuticle remover that we had. Massage cream from OPI. I did throw away the gel that they gave us. We had OPI gel, but I threw it away because it was the top coat that you have to wipe off. We got 2 of these polishes, and we had polishes on the hi Latina. What is your name? Let me see. Latina Nail Designs. How are you? So we got these 2. These are regular polishes. But then when it was time to do salon day, like they have a wall, like when you walk in a salon, there's a wall and there's polishes. Those polishes was old as shit. You can tell because it was separating. They gave us this, the sanitizing tray or whatever you want to call it. This here, the implements, nail tip cutter, tweezers, scissors, all that stuff. And this was cute. The case was cute. Some of my classmates, their stuff was breaking like the second day that we was using it. Hi, just Nikki. How are you? Haven't seen your name pop up in a while. This, because in my state we are allowed to wax. So this was a tweezing, the tweezers, the headband for when we wax eyebrows. I think those are forms. I can't remember. Those is like forms, but we never really use forms. We use forms like one time, and then we use the butterfly forms. Extra gloves. This was our dapping dish for acrylic. This is the hands, but we wound up using the other trainer hand. What I didn't like was the fact that they were giving us stuff in our kit that we weren't going to use. It's like, why do we pay this money if we're not going to use it? Like, we had to buy, luckily I had the trainer hand. I just had to buy new fingers for it. Oh, you went to nail school? You didn't get nothing? Like, nothing at all? How much was your tuition? That's insane. The story gets deeper. So we got nail tips. We got this. It's so outdated. Like, it's 2024, but the nail curriculum is so outdated. I have been seeing people use like silk and fiberglass to do wraps, but it's very rare. You still have to know how to do that. I feel like $4,200, and you didn't get no kit. What about your books? Were your books included? And how long was your program? Excuse me. I feel like they upped the nail course prices because it's so limited. Like, I think in the state of New Jersey, honestly, there's about a good 5 nail programs. Like, I think there is a Paul Mitchell School in New Jersey. Oh, you got nope. I can't do cosmetology. I know part-time, they're in there for like 2 years. Absolutely not. I was doing one girl's nails and I was like, oh, when do you graduate? She was like 2025. No, I thought I wanted to like teach nails, but in order to teach nails in New Jersey, you have to go through the whole cosmetology program, and I don't want to do that. Oh, yours is 3,000 for 9 months. Okay, that's not. How many hours? Because it also depends on hours. For Jersey, it's 300 hours. For PA, Pennsylvania, it's 200. And for New York, it's. I'm sorry, I just spit. That was so. Act like I didn't see that. For New York, it's 250 hours. So how many hours is it for California? I think the nail school program should, well, any program for cosmetology, it should just be the same, because if you move from state to state, like if I move out of Jersey and I go to Florida, I can just transfer my license. I just have to pay the fee. But if moving into, whoa, is that for nails or that's just for that's for cosmetology too? I can't even think about it. 300 hours is already a lot. 750, absolutely no. No ma'am, no sir, no thank you. Yeah, New York is 250. I just started looking at Pennsylvania because yeah, well, there is a school in Texas called BGM Science where you can do their program in Texas, but you take your state test in your own state. I'm not sure if you'll have like 2 licenses. I'm not sure if you'll be licensed in Texas and licensed in your state, but you can check them out. I'll link all of that. But it is called BGM Science. It's expensive, their program, but it is strictly online. But you just go to take your state tests in your own state. But yeah, we got this. We learned how to do wraps or whatever, but ain't nobody asking for wraps, because even the older people, like, they do regular polish. When I worked in a salon for 6 weeks just recently, they do regular polish on their toes and then they do gel on their nails. So nobody is really doing fiberglass wraps anymore. Like, I guess you should know how to do it, but that's evolved, because back in the day they used to do it with tea bags. Like, I don't know if y'all remember that. But we got this bag, which became my bag for like my notebook and stuff. So yeah, if you go back to my live, we got 5 of these. So we got 5 buffers, and we had to basically supply the rest of our own stuff. So if we needed buffers, we had to do that on I'll bring that on our own. I had already had the little kits with the manicure and stick with the file buffer from when I was doing press on nails. So I just used that. These files, I was just pocketing stuff because we had to do a practical sheet. And this is what the practical sheet looked like. So at the top, that's 15 manicures. How are y'all giving us 5 buffers if we have to do 15 manicures? And then these are disposable. So like the supervisor would be like, oh, I just ordered you guys like 24 boxes of stuff. Where did all it go? We got practicals. And that whole sheet had to be filled before we graduated. So we have 15 manicures, 5 pedicures, acrylic, and then if we practice on each other, that's a part of infection control. So why you, and then we weren't the only manicure in class. There was also a Spanish speaking only manicure in class. My class has 16 students. I'm not sure about the manicure in class. I'm pretty sure it's packed. But we're gonna go through this stuff because we can't keep it. Yeah, that's the thing. I think my school is going to, they're cutting the night class now and they're just gonna do full time. So I'm glad I went while I went because I can't go during the day. Like I need to be close to home, especially my school is 30 minutes. Cause I can't imagine me getting a phone call from my kid's school and it's like I gotta clock out, come home, and then I still gotta make up those hours. And that was the other thing. When y'all go to nail school, make sure y'all consider the weather because it depends on the hours. So like we had ghost hours. So like let's just say it rained ridiculous today. I won't have class. And then my graduation gets pushed back. So originally I was supposed to graduate April 1st. But then the system they put in a day for Thanksgiving, like as if we were there for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a holiday. Regardless, is we didn't go to class on Thursday. We only went to school Monday through Wednesday. So that shouldn't have affected us, but it did. It pushed our graduation back to April 2nd. Then we got pushed back to April 3rd because we had a school closure. Now, we were allowed before 2023 ended. I went to school one day to do 12 hours because yeah, well, I made up 8 hours, but then my regular class is 4 hours. So I did 12 hours to try to make sure that I can keep my graduation date at April 3rd. Then we tried to do it again this year, but they always said the state. Everything was the state. Anytime you asked them, oh, the state said that, was the state said this. Honestly, it was just them making up their own stuff because once they make up their rules and they send it to the state signs off on it and then it's just like basically implemented. So they were like, oh, we went in for like a makeup day on a Thursday and they were like, it doesn't count. So it just, ooh, how far is it? Yeah, that's the thing with a lot of people. There's like a couple of my classmates, they travel an hour to go to school because there's no other school. And then a lot of these schools, they just be like, oh, just do cosmetology. And it's like nobody wants to do cosmetology because cosmetology is more money. And plus you can get financial aid with cosmetology. With the nail program, because it's so short, you cannot do financial aid. Although we did have a payment plan. It got split into 5 payments. My payments was $629, but I wound up just paying the rest of it in November to get it over with. So yeah, just consider the closures. Like when you go register, if you go to nail school, just ask them, hey, what's the procedure? What's the protocol? If the school closed, like, and it has nothing to do with me, like not in my control what happens, because that's what kept happening to us. Snow days, flooding because there's a river right like up the block from my school. So we had to deal with all of that. And that was the annoying thing because when we were in orientation, they were like, we don't get penalized for natural causes. But that was a lie. And that was the thing. Like, I talked to Miss So and so today. She tells me X, Y, and Z. Tomorrow we got a big meeting with the supervisor, and she's like, no, that's not right. The when we they asked us to do surveys, and that was the biggest thing. I was like, y'all communication sucks. It's always changing. Like, it's never consistent. Even when we did our exit interview, they told us that we could pick up our packet 4 to basically mail off to get our license. We could pick up our packet on graduation. And then nobody was to be found. So then I had to go a week back. But it's like you said, we can go. Then it was like, no, you can only make it was just confusing. That was that, and then clocking in. So when we had to clock in, we had to use our phone. We had to use a QR code. This is what it looks like when I clocked in. And on my last day, I was late. It just sucked so bad. It was raining. It was accidents. It was crazy. So when we clock in, we scan the QR code, and there's a Pin number, and it regenerates like every hour. Not every hour, every second. Every second. It not second. Every minute it regenerates or whatever, creates a new one. So when it's time to go, everybody's ready to go. So there was this one girl, she was so annoying. She was always, what's the number? What's the number? And it's like, you could go to the screen yourself and punch in the number, or you can shut the fuck up and wait. And not only that, but there was like these young guys just doing dumb shit. Have you ever played Frogger? Y'all know y'all gotta get the frog across to the other side of the highway. That's what it was like leaving the parking lot with them, because they used to race out of the parking lot. It was just, I had a good experience, but it was just stuff that was so annoying. Like, we didn't have a manicuring setup. We didn't have our own classroom. The other school that I visited, there was a class specifically for manicuring. There was tables set up for manicuring. Our class where we were at wasn't set up for manicuring. When we did pedicures, we would have to sit in our classroom. Somebody would sit on the floor because there was only 2 pedicure chairs, and those would be taken. When we had salon day, it was so embarrassing because we got this old ass polish. And then the client, my first client, she was sitting in a you know when you go get your hair blow dried and it has the hood, she was sitting in that. And I was sitting, some of us would sit on the floor, but for that particular time I was able to get one of them little rolling chairs. And she was like, are you comfortable? And I was like, I'm comfortable. Are you okay? You can let me know. And she was like, this is ridiculous. Like she was going in, and I'm like, speak louder so they can hear, because why y'all don't have proper equipment for us? Even our desks, some of the desks would be higher than the chair, or the chair would be higher. It was the worst. What does our tuition go to? So when we did our exit interview and we had to put a survey, I did write that in. There needs to be something set up for us. Even the lamps, I gave that lamp back because all my classmates was complaining about it. I used this lamp here, Sun UV. I've had this lamp since 2019. It hasn't failed me yet. So yeah, I asked my teacher, I was like, what you want to do? Because I don't want it. She was like, keep the drill. You should always keep the drill. So I did keep the car drill. But I don't see myself using it because I don't know how to work it. Although the textbook does mention about using that type of drill. Very brief. It's like a sentence. Let's see. Okay, I know everybody says going to beauty school is cliquish. That was what I thought at first. It felt very cliquish, but then I had to realize we all kind of fell in line. It just so happened to be the way we seated. Everybody that was married and had children was on this side. There were 2 older people that clicked together. You really don't learn. You really go for the license. It's literally a crash course. I had tests every week. Sometimes I had 2 exams. When we first got there, manicuring and pedicuring was my first exam. Acrylic and gel nails, hard gel, that was grouped together. It goes by so fast. Even when my teacher was doing a demo, there was 16 of us, and we all were we had to use the mirrors to kind of see what was doing. We were bending. It was crazy. And then she always told me oh, your acrylic is too thin. This is too thin. And it's well, sit with me and teach me, because I don't know what I'm doing. So this was what all these tests that we had, and it had to be done before we could take our state. So nail school was cool, but it was a headache. But yeah, it was 16 of us, and we all had to basically crowd over her, and it would be hot in the room. And I'm not a person that gets hot, but it would be hot. So what was I talking about? was talking about. What I will say is, if you enroll in school and you are married, bring your marriage license. Bring your ID, your birth certificate, your social, your high school diploma, and bring your marriage license. Because the day that I went to go register, she was like, "Are you married?" I said, "Yeah." She was like, "Oh, do you have your marriage license?" And I was like, "No, because you said to only bring my birth certificate, my high school diploma, my social, all that good stuff." She's like, "Oh, no, we're going to need your marriage license." So you do need a marriage license. I mean, you do need to bring it if you are married. Because when it's time to, like, let me curve my mugshot. When it's time to apply for your license, they're gonna put your you do learn a lot from YouTube, but if you go to nail school, there's things that YouTube and TikTok is not gonna teach you. That I will admit. So I am happy to go to that. I'm happy that I went, because there's stuff that I did learn on YouTube and TikTok, but it's nothing like going to nail school. Like, I didn't know that you weren't supposed to shave your legs before you went to get a pedicure. I don't think I necessarily did that, but there is a thing called microtrauma, where you can get infections because the water, if they're not clean, whatever. I didn't know that. Like infection control, I was only doing my own nails and like my husband's nails, my kids' nails. So I use like alcohol to clean my tools. But I learned, I knew about barbicide, but I just properly learned how to use it. Like the history, like learning about the Egyptians, the Greek, Babylonian, stuff like that, the opportunities, and there's more ways to do stuff in the nail world than TikTok, YouTube, being a nail tech. Like, you can be an advanced medical technician. So I'm glad I went, because I didn't see that on, I don't see that online. What, if you don't mind me asking, what year? I mean, the nail school program is outdated anyway, but what year did you go to nail school? Because that sounds crazy. I mean, when I went to nail school, it was a lot of Spanish girls in there, like predominantly Spanish. Even like the staff was predominantly Spanish. I was very shocked to see that, because where I live is predominantly white and Indian. But I would say go to nail school to get the license, because you are gonna learn stuff that you're not gonna find on YouTube. Like, I did watch a couple of people's oh yeah, girl. I mean, it's still outdated, but times have changed a little bit. But for those who did not go to nail school, I suggest you go. If you can, just find a strictly nail program, and don't let them bully you into just trying to do like cosmetology. You don't gotta do cosmetology. Like, don't nobody want to do that. Don't nobody want to do hair. But yeah, you do need your marriage license. I actually had to go back home and then go back to my school so they could make a copy, because that is a part of like your name change or whatever. So yeah, so we had to have a uniform, which I later found out I could have bought that on Amazon for much cheaper than $135, because yeah, when I did the Zoom for the orientation, was on Zoom, and they were like, "Oh yeah, as long as it's white, you can do any type of scrub." But the first day, they were like, "Yeah, we give you like a 10% off. This is where you have to go." And no, that wasn't. And just things just started changing. Like, it was just, like I said, it was cool, but everything was annoying, because when we did the Zoom, it seemed like they only were catering to the daytime students. Like, the first during the orientation, they were like, "Oh, you're gonna need a plaque card, because we're not the only ones that use this parking lot, and they need to know that you're a part of going to the school." So I asked them about the plaque card for my car, and they was looking at me like, "What are you talking about? Who said that?" And I was like, "They said that on the Zoom." Um, During orientation, they were like, "Oh, you can have a sweater as long as it's white or black, but it has to zip up." Then it was like, you can't have a black or white sweater; it can only be white. Then it was like, it can't be a hoodie. Like, some people would wear hoodies like this, and it would be white. They were like, "Oh, you can't do that." In the beginning of the school year, we would have to sign in and out to go to the bathroom, because they were like, if the state comes in, they're gonna take attendance, and they need to know where you're at all times. Fine, cool. That went out the window. Then like 2 weeks, it was like crackdown. Like, you guys, you can't do this, you can't do that. And it was like, we've been doing this for 6 months. Where you come from? Like, it was just like little stuff like that. The communication was horrible. Like, when I did go back to go get my paperwork, the career service lady was like, "Oh, can you please leave us a," like, she was like, "Make sure you leave a review. Do it for you." I don't need to do it for me. You need to do it for y'all because I don't know. Look, I'm not saying it was a bad school, but it was like, Miss, don't pressure me about no review. I don't care to leave my review because I said what I had to say in all those damn surveys that y'all kept asking me to do every other 3 months. Like, y'all asked for these surveys and nothing changed. So I hope next year or whenever the next class is, because I know my teacher, she's like, we're her last manicuring class. She's just gonna stick to esthetician. So yeah. This is the app that we use to see like our grades and to see our what you call it, like our hours and stuff. So because my state is 300 hours. I know y'all see 103 attendance rate. That's because I was trying to make up for those ghost hours so that I can graduate on time. Here was where we saw our absent hours. That's my average. So yeah, it was fun. Like when I first entered into the school, there was a class graduating while we were like coming in. And when I saw them, I was like, oh, Nell School is ghetto. Oh, hell no. Like it was just too much. Like they was doing too much. But then I found out that they were graduating. So it was like, whew. But yeah, my class is cool. They were cool. We still talk to this day where we follow each other on social media. We still have our group chat. Some of them I talk to outside of the group chat. This paper right here, I know some people were like, why do you keep that? You don't need it. Yes, I do. I like to keep a paper trail of everything, courtesy of my mom and my pops, who are police officers, who always tell me about paper trail. So, yeah, y'all not going to play with me about these hours. So, I kept a paper trail. I screenshot everything because I don't want y'all to do nothing. So, when we had to practice acrylic, which was very short-lived, this was in like a, one of those like divider things where it has the pockets. So we had to practice on this 8 times because my teacher was like, I'm not letting y'all practice acrylic on nothing else until y'all do this. But I still don't know what I'm doing with acrylic. I have a hard time with acrylic. I don't like it. I mean, I did like an overlay on my daughter's nails and it's not going so well. Like, it's off already. Let's see. What else? Oh, I forgot to show this in the live earlier, but I'll show it to you guys. This was how we should set up our basic manicure. So this was like week 1. That's when I got my kit. Oh, actually, I got my kit the second day because that photo said October 3rd. Thank God for timestamps because I thought we got it the next week. But yeah. So going for state, which is very nerve-wracking. So when it's time for y'all to take y'all state board, let me know because I can help y'all. Because I got mad. This whole folder, like, this is from my final. Like, I got mad study material because that's how I was able to pass. All right, so when you go for state, you have to make sure you have all your exams. So all our exams had to be in the system. The day that we were about to take our final, we had an exit interview, which took like an hour and a half. I was like, who the hell orchestrated this? Because why would y'all do that when we had our final? So after we did the whole exit interview, that paperwork that I showed y'all where I blocked out my picture, we had to go through all of that and go through questions. Then we had to get paperwork notarized. We had to go get a money order for $115. That was the application fee to apply for a temporary license, the fee for the temporary license, then another application fee for my official license whenever I get that, and then the fee for the license. So mad fees. So just be prepared. You're not paying for your tuition. That's it. You are paying for extra stuff too. And then you gotta pay for gas. And then you gotta pay for oil changes. And then snacks and food while you're in school. Because you're gonna be hungry, you're gonna be thirsty, all that good stuff. So when we did the final, well, the day of the final, my teacher was like, y'all can either take it tomorrow or go on break. I was like, give me that now. Let's take it. She usually has like students checking the test, well, grading the test. She's like, well, if y'all want the grades in between tonight and tomorrow, yeah, I'll help. And somebody graded my test wrong because I have my answer key and I have the answers. I mean, it's 1 point, but still, I could have got an 87. I got an 86. But yeah. So whoever graded my paper missed the question. They marked it wrong when it was right. But anyway, it was just so that we can get our grades into the system so that the school could apply for us to basically take our state. When you go for state, you need your ID. And then they say you need like basically this packet. You have to bring it. It's like a candidate. Let me have a mugshot again. So this is a candidate submission letter. So you need all of this, and this basically tells you what you can and can't bring. You can't have your phone. If you have an Apple Watch, like I do, you have to lock it up. The only thing you can have on you is, well, for that test and stay, you can only have your ID and a key. And they did hand wand me. So the lady at the front told me that I had to lock everything away. Cool, fine. So then when I go through the door, she was like, well, where's your ID? I was like, oh, well, the other lady said to lock it up. So after I got hand wand, I had to go get my ID. I had to come back and get hand wand again. And then I had on a zip up sweater. So I had took it off because I was getting hot. I was nervous. She was like, no, you got to put it back on. And then I had to check my pockets. I had on jeans. I had to put my hand in my back pocket. I had to put my hand in that little pocket in the front. So much just to, oh, and then I had to like lift my sleeves. She had to check my arms. I was like, God damn, like this is a lot. Then she told me to sit down. She told me to take my glasses off. I thought it was so that she could verify who I was because in my license, I don't have glasses on. But no, she told me to take my glasses off. She told me to put them on the table, flip them upside down, like all this other stuff. I'm like, miss, I don't got money for smart glasses. Like, I'm broke. But when I asked my teacher, she was like, it's to make sure you don't cheat. And I was like, that's a lot. So after you take the state board, it is computerized. I did, when they do have to tell you go stand on the X. So you don't go to the computer to take the test right away. They have to set it up. They give you scrap paper. After you take the test, you have to, before you can even get up, you have to like get their attention so that they can tell you to come out. Luckily, when I was done with my test, she was actually bringing in another candidate to take the test. So yeah, that's what that was. Then after, she was like, open up the book because she has to see if you did anything with scrap paper. It was like, are you trying to do this so to see if I could follow directions? Like, it was so unnecessary. It was very nerve-wracking. But after you take the state test, you get this paper basically saying that you took the state test, and then that you'll get your results in a couple of days. I took my test on a Saturday, so I got my results on a Monday. It was very nerve-wracking. I was trying not to check. But then my teacher was like, you should check. You know, you never know. Your thing might be up there. But it wasn't. So I know my classmate took her test today. So she'll get her results tomorrow. So it's like, did you pass? So in New Jersey, we don't take practicals. We don't go before the state and do a manicure, pedicure. Well, whatever you do at a practical, we don't do that. We have to work in a salon for 30 days. We have to get our temporary license. So I am temporary licensed. I just have to wait for the actual license to come in the mail. And then I got to get this paperwork signed. No problem. You're welcome. So I got to get that paperwork signed. And I got to work in a salon for 30 days. I wish my school would have worked with salons. I don't even care if it was in the area because that just means that it's just solidified already. Like, if they would have worked with salons, like, okay, after these students are done, they're going to be coming to work with you for 30 days. You can make sure that they do the 30 days, sign their paperwork so that they can get their license. Because then, not only do we have to get that paperwork signed, but we have to make sure these people have had a license for over 3 years. And then they're considered an EPL, Experienced Practicing Licensee. So, it's like, why we have to go through all of this? I was working at a salon for 6 weeks. And they were Vietnamese. They were very cool people. My last day working there was a little unhinged. Not unhinged, but it just felt very funky going on in there. But because my student permit pretty much ends when I graduate, I was like, you know what? Let me leave. Let me just wait for my temporary license to get there. And also, their license on the wall, although it was valid, it didn't belong to anybody in the it didn't belong to anybody that worked there. Well, the owners. So I was like, I don't want them to sign my paperwork and then years later the state is knocking on my door like, hey, we need to come talk to you. Did you know X, Y, and Z? Nah, I don't got time for that. I worked too hard, spent too much money, too much time. And my husband's job was very accommodating, switching his schedule so that I could go to school. Like my oldest daughter missed out on, fall and winter sports so that I could go to school. So it was like all these people help contribute to me going to school, and for me to just lose it, not happening. um Graduation. My mom went to cosmetology school. When she graduated, they had like the little walkthrough, they had like a little ceremony. Nah, we didn't have that. We were able to eat food because me and my pops and my brothers went. We were able to eat food. There we couldn't do that. We basically paid for our own graduation party. We put up money, we brought stuff, we brought pizza, juice, food, everything. And then there were like other class, like maybe my classmates was like, if the estheticians would have came in and asked, they would have said that. Because that's another thing. If you guys go to nail school, when you're doing nails for these other people, like cosmetologists, estheticians, whoever, make sure you get something back in return. Because for like 2 to 3 weeks, we was busting our ass doing nails, and maybe a good five of us, not me, but a good five of us were able to get facials. So if you do somebody's nails, I don't care if it's a basic pedicure or basic manicure, make sure you be like, run me my blowout or come do my makeup, come give me a wax. Get yours, because they will take full advantage, especially it's free. Like one girl, I did her nails, she asked me to do gel X. We don't fucking do gel X in school. We don't. Y'all see what I got? I brought my own products in, and then she was being mad picky. She was getting on my last nerves. But I was like, you know what? Let me take this as a lesson, because when I go into the salon, I'm gonna deal with nitpicking clients. I'm gonna deal with these indecisive ass clients. But no, she was doing way too fucking much. And you can get tips. Like some of the estheticians were tipping other people. She should have tipped me because I was doing a lot. Like she pretty much got $100 set for the free, which is not cool. So when you go to nail school, make sure you get yours, because they will definitely try to play y'all. Like we was doing nails for like a good 2 to 3 weeks. My teacher had to be like, yo, if y'all don't want to do it, don't do it. Like tell them no, because y'all be doing stuff for them, but they don't do nothing for y'all. And they'll be like, oh, if you guys ever want a facial, you guys can come get a facial. But when it's time to do a facial, they want to come during theory. And it's like, oh, we can come back on break. I'll break it from 7 to 7:30. But they don't want to. They be like, oh, well, we're leaving at 7:30 because they were doing makeup hours. Or, oh, no, we won't be here past 7:30. And it's like, okay, well, thanks for nothing. So, yeah, that that be the little shit that goes on with nail school. Like nail school, it was cool. I dealt with a little cattiness, a little messiness, but at the end of the day, I'm too old for that. I don't got time for it. Like I just want to come here to get what I get and go home. And at the end of the day, I was like, I'm probably never gonna see y'all motherfuckers again. So why am I wasting my time telling you about yourself because you being nasty for no reason? Nope. On to the next. So, yeah, for the graduation party, people were coming in. Like some of the teachers I was cool with, because they was cool. They was, putting us on game. But like some of them cosmetology students, none of them bitches was talking to us. But then they came and got their plate, and then they was like, oh, you guys are graduating, congratulations, blah blah blah. I was like, So, my classmates was getting tight. I was like, yo, I don't even care no more. We about to graduate in a couple of hours. So, my husband was gonna come. My mother-in-law was gonna come watch the kids, and my husband was gonna come to my graduation. But when I found out that our guests couldn't eat, and it was like, well, we're paying for this and our guests can't eat, and then our guests could only be there for while we received our diploma. That's it. Our ceremony, thank you so much. Almost done. Almost. I'm almost licensed. I can't wait. I'm ready for this process to be over. On to the next. So our guests could only be there while we were getting our diplomas. Our graduation was like literally 10 minutes, if that. and we just took pictures with our teacher. Like, you know, she said her little speech, she gave us our diplomas, and that's it. I would show y'all my diploma, but it's because it was raining that day, so they did give us like little bag envelopes. So I took a picture just to show y'all my diploma. Hold on one second. So yeah, I have to get a frame for it, but this is my diploma. So that's my diploma. So yeah, make sure, you know, when y'all filling out your information, your name is right. Because I think one of the ladies was saying that somebody was complaining that their name was wrong. So, you know, excuse me, sorry. Just make sure your name is spelled right and all that good stuff. But I enjoyed nail school. I just wish that it's a little bit more dated. Like, I was asking my teacher, like, how are the board meetings being held? Because I want to go. Like, the board director is mad old. He's like 100 years old. Like, retire. Why are you still the director? I do know like how the board members are set up because we did have to learn that. But it's just so much stuff that needs to be updated. Like the kits. I did see on TikTok that somebody nail school, they got a Kiara Sky product. I don't know if it was a lamp, but I know Kiara Sky, like, people don't like it. They have the issues. But it's the fact that that's something updated. Like the drill that we got, nobody's using that. You know, everybody is using something that's cordless, like where you can travel or whatever. The kits, the fact that we got 5 buffers and we have to do 15 manicures alone to graduate. And, you know, it was like after a while we had to start pocketing the stuff because there's other classes that was coming in and taking the stuff, and then some of the stuff was getting locked. The classroom that we used, there was another classroom in the daytime. That teacher didn't like my teacher. It's like, Luke, these people is old as fuck. They probably grandmas. Like, what's with the petty shit? Like, why we can't get along? Like, it was just certain things that went on. It was just like, is this what I pay for? Like, this is given public school. Like, this is what we pay for. But I wouldn't change my experience for anything. If people be like, oh, should I go to nail school? Yes, go to nail school. Yes, you are going for the license mainly, but there's so much stuff that you're gonna learn. There's people that you're gonna meet that you're gonna learn from them. My classmates, we supported each other, we helped each other, we rooted for each other. My last day, I was late. They were ready to clock in for me, but I was gonna ask them too. I'm not gonna lie, because it's like, yo, it's the last day and I'm late. I was ready to, like, yo, can somebody, here's my information. But you know, we root for each other. If somebody is strong in some area, there was hands down, I had a classmate come help me with a set, come show me what to do. Like, so it was very cool. Like, you know, people get in your head and they're like, oh, it's click, it's just this, it's that. Like, it is what you make it. So it does get messy, it does get catty, but and that's just because it's different personalities. And, you know, your sense of humor is not my sense of humor. My teacher, you know, in my book, there's good assholes and there's bad assholes. My teacher was a good asshole. She's very sarcastic, and I have my husband to thank for that because I am a sensitive person. So if I didn't really know sarcasm, I don't think I would have survived in that ladies class. A lot of people, you know, were kind of touchy feely about it, but I wasn't. um I do think there needs to be strictly nail schools. And if they're going to do something where you don't have to do a practical before the board, you got to do 30 days in the salon. They should definitely have it in place where you could either choose your own salon or you can go to this salon because the school knows that they're going to sign your paperwork. They know that their shit is in order. Because I had a salon, but now I gotta go search for another salon. And not only do I gotta search for another salon, but then I gotta go through the system and make sure that shit is legit because I don't want to waste my time and I don't want to just have my shit taken away after I work so hard for it. Um, it is a lot of studying, a lot of vocabulary. With the anatomy aspect, you have to know like the nerves of the hands and the arms, the nerves of the foot and the leg. Going to I'm not gonna say like unlicensed people don't know how to spot funguses, but I would say that because I went to nail school and because I worked in that salon, I was able to spot what could possibly be a fungus and know that this is not cool, and for me to roll bounce up out of there. And another thing working in a salon, people don't shower, right? That's a given. People don't wash their ass. But coming to a nail salon, why are you funky? Like, don't run, don't do whatever you gotta do, and then come to the nail salon. That was the thing. Pedicures I don't mind doing. I just hate the smell. Once upon a time, I did not like feet. Like, you could not put your feet on me. But I think I like the pedicure aspect because it's like you're here and I'm here, and I talk to you for a couple of minutes, but you just want to relax. So then I can tune you out. Whereas if I'm doing a nail set, it's here. Like, so it's like continue with talking. And sometimes I don't want to fucking talk. Just find something to do, but don't move too much so that I can focus on your nails. But yeah, and then I don't know if you guys seen that post. I was talking about it in the live earlier, but there's a TikTok post that's been going around, and it was like, if you're gonna play with your coochie, at least wash your hands. I don't know what that girl be doing. Maybe she a muncher. I don't know, because she know what it smells like. But that is for real. Drilling stuff off people's nails. The nails is like a telltale of health, because I remember one time I did do a girl's nails. I drew her polish off, and I could smell the weed. And I was like, "Did you just smoke?" And she was like, "Yeah, like an hour ago. How you know?" I was like, "Cause I smell it." But the salon that I was at, they were using MMA, and that just made me think about when I used to go to the salon back in the day. Like, yo, they was putting this shit. Yo, I don't know. I don't remember MMA smelling like that before, but that shit stinks. Oh my gosh. And then, although I would have gloves on, it's so strong, it would get trapped. So when my classmate did my acrylic nails and I took the polish off, I had to tell her, I was like, yo, like, it ain't me. Like, you're gonna smell some funk. I promise. It's from working in that salon. She was like, yo, what is that? I was like, yo, that's MMA, and that's the fact that these people are not clean. Like, working, especially working in a salon, it's one thing to be a customer and to kind of see what they do, but it's another thing to be behind the scenes, how they do stuff. When I was working in a salon, I had my tray, I had my barbicide, and they was looking at me like I was crazy. That's how I know y'all asses ain't go to school, because where's the barbicide? They had the UV stabilizer thing, but excuse me, there was no barbicide. When I had to clean out the pedicure basins, how they clean it out is just rinse it out and put the new disposable thing in. They don't soak barbicide or the other EPA. And that was the other thing. Like, going to nail school made me realize, like, I did get a foot fungus one time when I was younger, from a nail salon. But going to nail school just really made me realize, like, how nasty and dirty these salons are, and how it's all about the dollar. Because yeah, they want you to have good customer service, but they want you to be in and out. And I know they're probably happy that I left, because I'm a perfectionist and I take my time. So I do spend extra time on, cutting your cuticles. And that's another thing. Like, there's a lot of people who are diabetic that come into these salons, and they're diabetic because they got these thick, thick, thick toenails. It's not because they don't take care of themselves. It's because they're diabetic. And sometimes they not going to tell you, or they don't know. For the most part, my clients would tell me, like, I'm diabetic. So because I knew that they were diabetic, I wouldn't cut their cuticles, because I'm like, no blood on my watch. Like, no, 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 no. Somebody did get nicked when I did a pedicure, but we had the antiseptic, and I guess it's because how I was holding the nipper, and it's also because how he was sitting. Because when people get their nails done, and I hope I wasn't that person, but they get very, very lax. Like, I was doing somebody's pedicure, and he was like damn near laying down. And I'm like, I'm glad you're comfortable. I'm glad, I'm making you feel at peace, but there's a certain way you need to be sitting. So can we scooch back up a little bit? Like, can we sit up? But yeah, like, people turn their legs. It's very taxing on the body too. So yeah, I just kind of want to do my 30 days and go. Right now I just really want to focus on doing content, and I do want to own a salon. the purpose of me for really going to nail school was to get my license for when I do New York Fashion Week and for when I own a salon. In the event that it gets really really busy and there's walk-ins, that I know what to do and I can help out. But working at a salon is like, I'd rather just own it and y'all can have it. Cause so yeah, I just want to focus on content and doing like brand nails for brand events, because one thing I've noticed when I started paying to New York Fashion Week, everybody has a budget for hair and makeup, but nobody has a budget for nails. And when I was going to seek out, me trying to get my foot in the door on my own, they would straight up tell me, "Oh, we have a budget for hair and makeup, but we don't have a budget for nails." And if y'all ever looked at some of those pictures that's not like edited, the hair is on point, the makeup is on point, the outfit is on point, but zooming on them nails is crusty cuticles, is bitten fingernails, and it's like, hmm, to have a nail tech, because they could have got you right. So and then they don't want to pay. But before I got my nail license, doing nails was like something that I'm still passionate about it, but now that I have the knowledge, it's like, yeah, you're not paying me to, you can't get off saying that, oh, well, you're just a press on nail artist. No, I'm a licensed nail tech. Like, I went to school for this. Like, I could probably help you spot a fungus on your model, or I can probably tell her, like, hey, you might want to up that vitamin A or that vitamin D because the nails is looking kind of, So yeah, I am happy that I went to nail school, because some of the stuff you're not gonna find on YouTube and TikTok. What you probably will find on YouTube and TikTok is the acrylics and the gel X, because they do not teach the gel X at all in school. Um, what they are up to date about in the textbook is the Russian manicure. They did briefly touch on that, like that is illegal in the United States. You're not supposed to do it. Like in New Jersey, you cannot find anybody like publicly that does Russian manicure. You would have to go to New York, which is why I want to get licensed in New York, because like a Prey, when they do like the Gel X classes, they go to New York. I'm not sure about Pennsylvania. But they do go to New York. So I do want to get certified in that. There's also a free Barbicide class. I forgot how I found out about that. But it's free, it's online, so I am gonna do that to get my certification. And it comes from the Barbicide website. So I'll have that in the link too. After this downloads, I'll put everything, the website with the grants and the scholarships. If you're going to go to nail school, I forgot to look at it before I physically enrolled. Well, not enrolled, but I could have did it. I could have got like a grant or scholarship. There's money out there for beauty school. So whether you're going to do nails, whether you're going to do esthetician, go check that website and go enter in, because that's money and it's free money. So all you gotta do is just, meet the criteria. I didn't do that. So there is a school online. It's in Texas. But it's expensive. You just have to make sure that your state is, like, your state basically allows you to transfer the license without taking a test. Like, if you're in Texas and you move to Jersey and you have a license in Texas, in order to get a license in Jersey, you have to take the state test here, pay the fee, and then get licensed. My mom is a licensed cosmetology in New York. I was telling her about getting licensed out here. She's like, I don't want to take the test. So yeah, who after you did all that school, you don't want to take the test. Like Florida, there's a YouTuber. She was licensed in New Jersey, but then she moved to Florida. So I think all she had to do was just pay the fee to to get her license out there. So she's licensed in New Jersey and in Florida. Although it should be universal, like the hours should be the same, because in PA is 200 hours, Jersey is 300, New York is 250. I don't know about anywhere else, but it should be the same. It should be the same textbooks, the same curriculum, the same process to get your license, all that stuff. Like, I don't understand why it's so different, why it's such a headache, but yeah. it is what it is. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, all that good stuff, feel free to write it so we can discuss it. But yeah, overall, I don't regret. Let me just make sure I cover everything. I don't regret going. I'm glad I went. I'm sorry. This notebook was from when I used to have a YouTube channel. I used to like review like TV shows and movies, but I stopped doing it because it's like this, and I don't really like showing my face on camera like that. So yeah, it's cool. Um, but yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, just remember that when you enroll in nail school outside of tuition, just make sure you got like an extra $1,000. Although like the stuff that I bought outside of um my tuition, like my bag, my drill, I bought like a couple of files, my uniform, you're gonna have uniform, all of that was like $800. So so if you guys plan on enrolling in school and when it's time for you to take tests, let me know because I can help you. I got a bunch of um files on my computer from me taking exams and that stuff. So yeah, when did I first start doing nails? 2019. So my husband always was like, "You should just do your own nails. You're always complaining about the nail salons. You're never happy. You should do your own nails." And I was like, "No, I don't want to do my own nails because me going to do my nails is like, kind of like my me time." But he's like, "You're never happy. Like, you're always upset." So he bought me this little gel kit from Walmart. I think it was Sensational. That was 2019. And then I would always be watching like YouTube just for fun. I started off watching Get Nail 32. Then I was watching Long Hair Pretty Nails. Um those are like the first two people that I would just watch just for entertainment, not to learn anything. And he was like, "Why don't you?" He's like, "You sit here and watch them, like get paid and do it. Why don't you do it?" And that's how I started my YouTube. I started my YouTube April 2021. Um I had no idea what I was doing. There was a YouTuber like that became my friend. She was like giving me the blueprint. She was like, "Oh, if you follow like my format, you can blow up." Cause she pretty much blew up overnight. Like not overnight, but it was like within a year that her channel she hit like 1K. She got monetized. She was selling like press on nails. She had an Etsy shop. So at first I was kind of doing what she was doing, but then I was like, it's not me. So I'm still trying to find my way with this whole content thing. I think I'm gonna get back into like my series, Wedding Nail Wednesday, not Nail Haul Thursday, because I need to slow down with the spending, all the spending I just did. But Nail Haul Thursday, Finesse Friday. So yeah, just get back into just doing content. And I started going to like nail events. Like if you're in the tri-state area, NailCon, they do a lot of nail related events. The last event that I went to was Nails and Cocktails. It was at a nail salon in Brooklyn. Um I went and I think the founder of NailCon is like starting a podcast. Recently, um who was it? I went to an exhibit in Brooklyn called Acrylics Will Ride, and then they had an event with Shopify. It was free. It was like an all day panel. I didn't go to that because I had school. I was gonna miss out on school, but then my graduation was like a week later, so I was like, let me just finish out. I haven't been missing school for anything, so let me just wait until I graduate school. So if you can find out, go on Twitter for X and just type in nail events near me. You'd be surprised what you find on Eventbrite and start networking, depending on what you want to do content wise. But you'd be surprised at the people that you meet and the opportunity that you get. I did have an opportunity to have a paid gig in New York to do nails. But I had to turn it down. I wound up telling my friend about it. That's a license. She's a licensed cosmetologist and nail tech in New York. So I be telling her about events like, yo, this event is going on. This event is going on. Like, let's get out here, start networking. You never know what opportunities you're gonna meet. will get the people you're gonna meet, like how it could change your life. Um, so yeah, that's how I started doing nails. I did New York Fashion Week in 2022. Um, I just my husband, he works for a company where they do like it's like a private delivery service. It's like Amazon, but they're private. They deliver stuff for Vera Wang. They deliver stuff for like when Power was shooting. The Met Gala, they deliver stuff for that. And he was like, yo, it's New York Fashion Week. So I had did like a nail set based on some designer. And then he was like, yo, why don't you reach out and see if you could do nails? And two people had got back to me. One person I actually met, I went to the casting call. That was my first time seeing what a casting call looked like. I was behind the scenes for New York Fashion Week. I sat on the front row. It was just a dope experience. I only did two models' nails, but people were like, "Oh my gosh, like you do nails? Wow! Like, can you do my nails?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm not licensed. I'm not trying to even go there." Like, I did like a basic cleanup of her nails before I put the press on nails. Last summer, Baddies East. I never revealed this. I don't know. I don't even know if I would do that. But last summer I worked with somebody that was connected to Baddies East, and I actually did press on nails for Natalie Nunn. Whether she got them or not, I don't know, because that shit went sour. People will definitely try to use and abuse you. And one of my nail friends was like, yo, you gotta like you're a good person, and but people are taking advantage, and I don't like how they be playing in your face because you're such a kind person. I did do nails for a fashion show in DC. um it's just like, yo, I be coming to people with opportunities, and I did not charge them anything. um with the whole Baddies East, he wanted me to come. First, he was like, he was gonna fly me out to DC, to come do nails on set, and it was like, I really don't need to do nails on set because I'm not licensed. And then he was like, well, I need sets for 8 people, and I was like, well, I need their nail sizes, like, or send me a picture of their hand so I can kind of gauge. And he was just fighting me on that. So he was just like, well, if you're not gonna help, don't contact me no more for nails. Cool, thank you for the opportunity. I sent the nails. I had did nails for him for BET weekend. So I was like, hey, did you get the nails on time? Because I'm stalking everything going on with BET, and I don't see this like fashion shows that's going on. So he's like, no, I'm gonna use it for Miami. Whether he used it or not, I really don't know. But I wanted to cuss his ass out, but I didn't. um I used to be very impulsive. Like, my anger is ridiculous. Like, not proud to say that, but I am aware. So I was just like, what, thank you for the opportunity. It was something for me to do. I had did 9 sets, 9 bling sets, like bling bling, rhinestones, gems, whatever you want to call it. And I sent them to LA. Was I did those nails in like 3 days. I did 9 sets. I had nobody sizes. I did it in 3 days. And I sent it to LA, and it is what it is. And me doing Baddies East, I had told my mom, this is the first time I'm really talking about it. I kept it quiet. The only person that I told was like my mom, my husband, and my nail friend. And everybody's like, yo, you should blast him. I'm still not gonna reveal his name because that's not who I'm about. Like, you know, Calicious T. It was supposed to be because my last name begins with a T, but my cousin was like, well, why don't you call it Calicious T? Which is how it started. Was because there's gonna be stuff that goes on in the nail industry, and you can be the one to blast it. So that's pretty much why it's Calicious T. But I'm pretty much probably going to morph into a new direction because yeah, I'm all about positivity. I don't like drama. I don't like conversation, but I will air out when something is not right. That I will do. But so yeah, I did Fashion Week. There was a thing I talked about it on my channel where I thought it was the actual Cosmopolitan, but they were like scammers. But I had paid to be, because I didn't want to do behind the scenes, so I paid. I think it was $300 to basically be a designer. When you're doing fashion week and you want to be a designer and you want to showcase your work, you have to pay. And sometimes these people is paying $10,000, excuse me, sorry, to showcase their work. So you know, I was like, this is the opportunity for me to have the spotlight on my brand. There's a whole story time about that. I won't even get into that. But I did wind up meeting a model. Um Although she didn't get to model the nails that I had, I wound up sending her a press on nail set. From that, she asked me to do two more nail sets. She paid me. My nails have been in a published online magazine. I don't really talk about this stuff. I think I put it on my story and then that's it. I kind of just let it go. Like I have a couple of accolades. I just be chilling in the cut, just doing what I do. But her the nails that I did for one of the models were was is in a eyewear catalog. So, yeah, right now I'm just going back to the basics, doing content. That's why I've been pushing out so much content. Networking with nail communities. That's why I'm trying to make sure I'm heavily involved in like Facebook groups and um getting back to watching people's content, just trying to comment and boost up their engagement and all that good stuff. Like I'm all about networking, I'm all about teamwork. Like teamwork make the dream work. I'm forever saying that. I know a lot of times I used to get like really upset because it's like, yo, I put so much into people, why they don't pour into me. But God blesses me in ways that I don't even imagine. So I know me doing good. I don't even look back for the return from people anymore because I know God got me. Like I'm forever blessed. I'm forever thankful. Um, but because you guys have been so great and so amazing, I do have a little giveaway for y'all. That's a special announcement for everybody that was on live today. So you guys don't have to do nothing. You guys done enough. Sat here, listened to me for over an hour. So the giveaway is these nail tips from Red Iguana, and then some top coat, the base, and some gel polish from Nail Reserve. So if you guys saw my Nail Reserve video yesterday, then yeah, this is what this is. So I'm giving it away to one person. What's today? Today's Wednesday. I'll probably just announce the winner tomorrow. If you guys can, on my community tab, there was a post that if you were on the live, just put a purple heart. That's it. That's all I need y'all to do. Just put a purple heart. This way I just know who was on the live. And I'll pick a winner, get your information. And yeah, so that's what the little special announcement was. Just a giveaway, just to show my appreciation for everybody that took the time to vote and to rock out with me and just even want to know about my nail journey, especially with school. And if I could help the next person out, like, cool, because the most people told me about nail school was like, don't get into no bullshit. It's catty, it's cliquish. So, but nobody told me about the expenses, the I know we're all in different states and in different coasts or whatever, but if I can help y'all know how much to save at least, then you have like, just an idea, because nobody did that for me. So just paying it forward. So yeah, that's all you gotta do is on the community tab where it says where I shared the afternoon live, just put a purple heart so that I know that y'all was in here, and that's it. And that's all I got for y'all. So yeah, that's my nail school journey. Some people are going back for esthetician. I'm done with school. This is it. Before nail school, I wanted to go back to school to get my bachelor's in criminal justice. I thought, because I used to be a security guard, I thought I was gonna open up a security school. Basically, excuse me, no problem. I'm just burping a lot. I'm so sorry. Sorry, y'all. But I wanted to open up a security school where you can get your credentials, like your 8-hour, your 16-hour. But yeah, I had took the test out here to become a police officer, following my parents' footsteps, because I'm just like, I know the money is good and I do want to buy a house and my kids are getting older. My oldest is going to be 13, and then she's gonna be going to high school, and then sweet 16s and all that good stuff. So yeah, where we live, you need a car. Like, you cannot public transportation out here. Not like New York. And even if we're in New York, I don't think I would really want her on public transportation. She probably would be Ubering to death. But yeah, so that's about it. So if you have any questions, because at 11 o'clock I am gonna get off this. So I can go eat my sandwich. Although it's late, I should not be eating this late, but I am. I want to lose weight, but no, we have Uber out here, but I mean, everything is so close where I live, so I don't mind driving her. And then her friends' parents, they all like moving out here was one of the best decisions that we made because she has so like it's just like a big community. Like yesterday, was it? Yeah, yesterday. I went to a party, like it was a play date birthday party. Like then last week I went to two birthday parties. There was a party at McDonald's and then there was a party somewhere else for my kids. My kids are always going to parties and they're never far. Yeah, I've never went too far for a birthday party. I've stayed within 15 minutes. So but I don't know about Uber because people are weird. And, you know, she's a young female. So I mean, if I don't drive her, then my husband drives her. Or if we don't drive, then the other parents will come pick her up or drop her off, and vice versa. Like when she turned 12 last year, I took her and her best friend to the mall. They had a sleepover, and I was like, you know, I'll drop her friend off in the morning. And then the mom was like, oh no, you know what? I'll come pick her up. Like it's so cool living out here. Like I'm like, dang, I want your life. Like I had, you know, a cool life, but I didn't get to hang out with friends as much as she did. Like they be hanging out and stuff. So kudos to them. But sorry, I wasn't trying to yawn. But yeah. Alrighty. Where are you guys from? Are anybody on the East Coast or y'all all? Because depending on where y'all at, I know it could be either too early or too late. Um, sorry, I'm trying to. Now I gotta put all this stuff back after I unpacked and organized from school. Like, oh, okay, you're in Cali, Massachusetts. I can never say that. I've been to Massachusetts one time. I went to Boston. Where I stayed was we were right by the Harvard campus. It was my grandfather's retirement party. A lot of like my family is up there in Boston. It was my first time in Boston. It was very like pretty, very nice there. Like my cousin, I know he grew up there, but would I go back? Yeah, we drove. If I go back, I don't know. I don't like driving no more because when we go to see like my mother-in-law, she lives in Virginia, and we from here from Jersey to Virginia where she lives is like, well, because we have the kids, it's like 8 hours, 9 hours. But the drive to Boston was rough. Like this is when we was living in New York. It was rough because we had to go through the Bronx or whatever. So I wouldn't drive. I would definitely take a plane. I'm at the point in life where I don't want to drive no more. Like if I can't get on a plane, but then I don't know. Like I want to do a family trip, but I do have an autistic son, and he has this high pitched scream. So I'm not getting on the plane with that. Like so I'm gonna have to drive until he gets out of that stage where he stops screaming. And with the ears popping, yeah, they would put us on a no-fly list. So I'm not even gonna do that. But yeah, I don't want to do road trips. Mm-mm. I don't want to be on nobody's bus. I don't want to do a road trip. Maybe because when I got into an accident, somebody hit me from behind. I had a expedition as a rental. That car was like a bus, but it's so roomy. I think I would do that because nobody would be kicking my seat because I do drive sometimes. My husband does most of the driving, but I'll take over for like an hour, and then they'd be like, "Yeah, I'm good." So I'm a passenger princess, but he made me that way because Before I used to be like, why you don't let me drive? What's the point of me having a license? So yeah. Now, currently where I live, I only go to New York if it's nail related. Oh my gosh, really? People drive so crazy, especially in Jersey. Like, they drive on top of you. And that's what happened. It was traffic. I was picking up my mother-in-law from the airport. Everybody's slowing down. I was driving a little fast, but I got good brakes. But I was slowing down, and I'm not sure what he was doing. My car only had a dent. Thank God nobody got hurt. It was me and my two younger kids and my mother-in-law, but nobody got hurt. He hit us from behind. Only you couldn't even really see the dent. You could see the scratch, but his car was like smoking. So yeah. Um, thank God, like when I got my license, I haven't the only time I like been in like, I don't know, an accident, I hit a parked car and I hit a tree. I hit a parked car, I hit a tree, and Jesus Christ. That's and phones, people on phones. Like currently in my town, like they are stressing no phones. The only time I'm pretty much like, I'm not even on my phone, but just trying to see like the next exit or something is when I do my GPS. And I try not to do that too much because yeah, you know, multitasking. Me and multitasking don't get along too well, but people drive crazy, so y'all be safe. When we first moved, was that when we first moved? Oh, that is the worst. Yeah, I've seen Cali traffic on the news. I've never been to Cali. But if I do go, I hope that wherever I go, it's just in the same area because I hear that traffic is Cali and Atlanta traffic. I hear is ridiculous. Like, I think New York traffic is bad, especially when you're like Harlem Bronx in Manhattan. I hate driving in Manhattan. I went to Manhattan last month for the International Beauty Trade Show. It wasn't that bad, but it's just all those signs like you can't park here and this is for commercial. It's just too much. But yeah, y'all be careful because people, and that was the thing when we were leaving school. It's like it's a parking lot, and they do that out here in Jersey. Like it's a parking lot. Why are you doing like 30 miles per hour? And it's people walking, and yeah, I don't know why people drive the way they do. Like, how did some of y'all get your licenses? I was watching Judge Faith, very old episode, but it was an old lady. She was like, I can't hear in one ear. Like I'm like deaf in this ear and I can barely hear in this ear. And it's like, you don't need to be on the road. Like, where's your accessory? Where's your chauffeur? Cause you don't need to be. Oh, I believe it. My last couple of weeks of school coming home was crazy. Like this was the first time that I seen like a cop car zigzag and he was slowing down the traffic. It was a nasty accident. One time there was a car flipped over into the woods. It gets crazy. When we first moved, somebody um crashed into the ditch by my house, and it's like, how did you do that? Like, how fast were you going that you did that? This just it's insane. Like, drive slow. But thank you guys so much. My tea got cold. I'm gonna have to get another cup. But thank you guys so much for listening to me talk and rocking out with me. And thank you all for sharing. Those of you who shared, whether you would go to nail school or your experience in nail school, cosmetology school. It's 11 o'clock here. I don't have school tomorrow. That's the thing. As I don't have school anymore, but I gotta get up to get my kids up for school. So yeah, I'm about to go eat my sandwich and make some more tea because now I got the sniffles. But thank you guys so much. And just remember, if you were on the live, just put a purple heart on the last post on the community tab so I can enter you in the giveaway. I will most likely announce it tomorrow and just I think you can tag. I think I can tag y'all. Whoever wins, just tag y'all, and then get all your information, and then send it. And that's all she wrote. So as always, be good to you, be good to others. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Get some rest. Get some wine, some tea, whatever your vice is. Go take a nice hot shower or bath or whatever you do. And just unwind. Put on some lofi and all that good stuff. All right. Bye, y'all.